And we're back. Welcome. Break the apex. We've been missing. I know life happens, but we're back. Of course, this is our prediction show, like Miami Grand Prix. We have missed a few races. I think it's the Chinese Grand Prix, and is there a second one,
Aust-
James, that we missed?
Aus- Australia.
We missed Japan and no, we missed Japan and China.
Okay, so we missed Japan and China. Apologies for that. Life happens. Christian Horner had a couple of things he had to deal with, personal reasons. Dirk was nowhere to be found. He just chose to ghost us a bit. And I was busy.
Oh, please.
I was actually busy prepping for this show. So welcome, guys, again.
Prepping for the show. It took you 5 weeks to prep for the show.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. That's the genius that I am.
Yeah.
Yes, before Graham actually interrupted me rudely, it's your host,
Never.
BT, with the mostest, the Ferrari fan, analyst, hater, all of that stuff. I'm happy we're back, guys. Yes, Graham is there. Christian Horner Jr., the one that's chasing away Marco and Newey at the moment. Good luck with that. And surprisingly enough, we have, if Alonso and Montoya had a child, it would be Dirk. Welcome, James. Welcome to the show.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Let's get into it. You know that last time Graham is busy babysitting his children, been complaining about it. So let's get to it.
Can I just add to that, BT? Like, if I just look at Dirk like really quickly, like just look away from the camera and then look really quickly. The beard gives him like a slight Conor McGregor vibe as well. Just look away and then just look quickly.
Oh, come on.
Nah, I don't think Dirk can actually fight, to be honest with you. Nothing against you, Dirk. I don't think you're much of a fighter, to be honest with you. So,
well, I'm going to burst your bubble heavily now because I did nationals for martial arts.
Oh, did you hear that? That guy, especially the woman. Did you hear that? He can actually protect.
You know, I
He can actually protect.
You know, I can edit a full compilation of BT fail moments on this podcast. I promise you.
I'm smiling. I'm back. I'm really all black.
It is good to be back. It is good to be back, and I'm really have missed you gents a lot. And guys, obviously, you know, we are very sorry that we haven't been around, but let's be honest, there's only 2 of you watching, and I'm sure you guys didn't miss us that much, maybe just a little. But honestly, it is good to be back, and hopefully here to stay. We have gone through a lot of things in the last couple of weeks, but we have gotten through them, and we are good to go. So, BT, give us your best shot, and let's give the people a memorable welcome back, I guess is the right word.
I mean, that was the most longest intro I've ever done in my life. But a lot of bloopers there. Should be good.
It's probably the only good one you've done in your life too, but it's fine. Let's move on.
Anyway,
I was waiting for that.
The banter now. Let's be serious. Let's talk about F1, Miami Grand Prix, Miami, the city where you find girls with bikinis, the clubs, all the distractions in the world. Look, gents, before we get into last year's race, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I think you guys know what we're about to talk about. Let's talk about Adrian Newey being Red Bull. Before I get my thoughts on that, I spoke to Graham on Friday, and he was not happy about it. So let's start with Graham.
Obviously, Red Bull fan, not happy.
Yeah, Christian Horner Jr., how do you feel about
it?
So
I wore this cap on purpose, simply because I knew we were going to talk about this. Quite simple, guys. I thought that it ruined my day. I really did. And then I made a post on TikTok, and I was like, full review coming soon. And then I actually had to think about it. And then before I did my actual real, sort of reaction to it, I really had some time to think. And you know what, guys? Honestly, I think if you're a Red Bull fan, and I mean this genuinely now, if you're a Red Bull fan, I think you should just chill out. I think you should just relax. The reason I say this, he's been with Red Bull for 19 seasons. We have 6 constructors. 6 constructors. Out of 19 seasons, we've only got 6 constructors world championships. All I'm trying to say is, you know, Adrian Newey is not the guy that makes the team win. He's not the guy that sort of makes Red Bull Red Bull. He is one of the guys. And let's be honest, the only times that Red Bull have really shone and sort of dominated is in error regulation errors, because that is that's his sort of specialty, right? That's his wheelhouse. 2026, we're moving into power regs again, and that's not his wheelhouse. So I'm not too concerned about it. I will, however, say this. If there is one thing I am concerned about, the power regs coming up are regulations that have never been seen before. And the reason why I say that, the reason why I say that is it's not just going to be about the engine this time around. Because of the batteries that they need to fit in, because of how everything is going to be calibrated, everything's going to be bigger. It means that there's going to be a lot of aero that's going to have to go in place to fit all of this, this battery, all of these batteries and stuff like that. So this is where I feel Adrian Newey could really make a big difference. But here's the thing, guys. Let's be honest. Red Bull, I don't think we're ever going to shine in 2026. It's their first time making a new engine. So whether they had Newey doing the era around this new design and new concept of car, I don't think they would have had the engine to really make it. So maybe this is good for the sport. Maybe it's good for him. Maybe it's good for Ferrari. It looks like he's already turned down the Aston Martin offer. So anyways, that's just my thoughts. And I can tell you what I'm happy with. I can tell you what I'm okay with. But I'm going to let you guys talk, and then I'll just sort of give my 2 cents on what you guys say about it, being both Ferrari fans and the big rumor that's going around. I have my predictions, but I'll let you guys talk, and then I'll tell you what I think is going to happen.
Doug, before you go,
yeah.
Graham, the reason why we're speaking about this, I know you covered each angle and might happen to Red Bull. The question is, how do you feel in one word about that?
About him leaving Red Bull, or just leaving Red Bull?
Yes, about him leaving Red Bull. What's the
okay?
Instead of a word,
my first reaction was, oh damn. My real reaction after having thought about it, I would say it will be okay, is the sentence. It will be okay. Just quick one sentence to add on to that, or just one little thing to add on that. I'm not sure if you're aware, but I've learned this recently that he has mostly been consulting for the last 2 years or 3 years. He hasn't actually been building the cars himself. He's just been consulting. I don't know how true this is, but that's what I've been hearing. Because of him putting so much time into the RB17, this whole rumor nonsense that came up with Christian Horner wanting him to leave F1 and focus on the RB17 hypercar, that's where I learned about the fact that he has only been consulting in the last couple of years. He hasn't been designing the cars himself from scratch. He's just been consulting, saying, change this, change that, which still makes a big difference in the world of aero. But I think we will be okay. That's my sentence.
Cool. Doug, go ahead.
I'm going to give my 1 sentence, and then I'm just going to go down a small rabbit hole with this, because my 1 sentence is, I am hyper excited to see where he goes. Obviously, the cap I'm wearing is where I absolutely pray he goes, because no matter how you look at Ferrari, they've always had a banger engine, they've always had a banger chassis, but they never have the best aero. And who else can fix that but Adrian Newey? The thing for me is, though, Adrian is a connoisseur of this sport. He's been here for so long, and when the big technical regulation change came from 08 to 09, he's the guy that was leading the fight for Red Bull because of it was such a massive aero regulation reset, basically. Cars got longer. We all know about the whole blown diffuser in 09 thing, and that was all Adrian Newey. And yes, Graham, I know about the fact that he's only been consulting for the last few years. But that man, literally, if you put him in a wind tunnel, he will airbend the wind tunnel into an emergency. That guy has got a head on himself. He just knows how it works. And whether he's going to consult for another team or whether he's going to be actively designing with the other designers the aero of the car, Adrian Newey is a very rare breed of almost impossible to replace. I think Red Bull are going to be okay. I really think they do. But I still think this is going to leave a massive gap within Red Bull. And it's gonna be another team. One team's losses, another team's gain. And wherever he goes, Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, Aston, wherever he goes, even if he goes to another series of motorsport, where Adrian Newey lands, the team that gobbles him up is gonna have a damn good and fast car aerodynamic wise.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, you guys are right. No one is wrong. Personally, it's you guys' opinions. My quick sentence is: here we go, a super team in F1, meaning him and Hamilton will make a super team in Ferrari. Potential.
Yeah.
Sports for Ferrari to have that quite special. The last time we had that was when Schumacher was racing for Ferrari. They had that super team.
Jean Todt,
going.
Ross Brawn, Michael Schumacher, Barrichello. Jeez, guys, that was a team.
Yeah. So this is it. Ferrari is about to get a super team if he goes to Ferrari. And I've learned that he doesn't have to go to Mugello all the time. He does work from home sometimes. So he could either work from England, where he has another house there, or in South Africa, where he also has a house. Shockingly enough, Graham told me this, and I done some research today. So I'm quite excited about that. I hope he goes to Ferrari. It is time for Ferrari to win. Let's go. That's all I can say.
Yes.
And I'm quite excited for it. It is the change of the Banton. And we'll be ready for that. And I'm going to say something very controversial at the moment, just to end it off. Christian Horner, being power hungry, has chased people away from the team. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. It's not up for debate or anything like that. We're not about to debate ourselves on another day. But from my understanding, the way I'm looking at things in Red Bull, Christian Horner is playing a big part of this, and they're very good in hiding it. But anyway, let's move on.
Can I just? Let me just. Sorry, let me just get back to this quickly.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say something. Go.
Yeah. So the verdict is still out on Horner, by the way. But okay, let's that's a story for another day. What I wanted to say was there's an option that we haven't brought up yet, and that option is that he doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that he retires.
No, not that he retires, that he just leaves Red Bull Formula One. He's still got a long-standing project with the RB17 hypercar. I can't see him just up and leaving that. I can't see him just forgetting about it. So I've got a feeling that there's a very big chance that he leaves Red Bull Racing, but continues to work for Red Bull. However, he was spotted in Maranello a week ago, so make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. You guys have to admit, though, right? You know, he's designed a car for Aston Martin, the Valkyrie. He's designed the RB17 hypercar, which is still in development. I mean, if he had to go to Ferrari, just saying, the opportunities there are endless. But I mean, he's nearing retirement as well. So wherever he goes, I'm sure he'll make a massive impact. To be quite frank, I'm going to say this now already for you guys, and I don't mean this in any sort of condescending way where I'm trying to be nice in case you guys deserve to give me the banter back if this happens. But I can already tell you now, my feelings are that from 2026, Ferrari to me is the team that's going to be taking. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that Ferrari is the one team that is starting to really turn a leaf and look good. Fred has clearly started changing things and moving things. And
Uh-huh.
I see a difference in that team where they're not scared. They're not scared to take things head on. They're not scared to spend money. They're not scared to get the best of the best. They want to get back to winning. And between him and Elkin, they are making moves. So quite frankly, I have a very funny feeling that they are going to be the next 20. I just have the feeling they're going to be the next team other than Red Bull to win a championship. Anyways, let's move on. BT,
Okay.
let's move on.
Sorry, I've got one sentence to say, and I'm speaking for Mr. Adrian Newey, and I'm going to use very famous words said by a four-time world champion. Doesn't matter where he goes, everybody is a Ferrari fan.
It's
Everybody is a
well,
Ferrari fan.
we've spoken about that. Even I've said that, and I'm not a Ferrari fan, but I am a Ferrari fan. It's
Yeah, no, that's the truth, man. Thanks, James. So let's get to nitty-gritty. Speaking about Miami, recapping last year's race. Um, yeah, to me it was a good race. Verstappen didn't start on pole, Perez did, so that was quite interesting. So let's go with Dirk this time. Dirk, slight recap on last year's race. What did you like saying strategy-wise? How did the race go? What did you spot
To,
during the race? Yeah, so on and so on.
to be honest, I actually rewatched the race highlights today, and I got to about lap 30 that I actually was able to watch live, like piece by piece throughout the day. I couldn't get to everything, but the only thing that stood out to me about last year's race, and it was the same with when the race was introduced in 2022, the only thing about Miami that I see is utter boredom. And again, we're going to delve into this topic another day, but all these new tracks with city street circuits and everything, Miami for me is more a show than about the sport. It's more the show than the sport. And that's what I don't like, because this is one of the few pure sports left in the world. And thanks to freaking big movie stars and pop stars and everything wanting to get involved with in F1, it's ruining a part of it. But that's a completely different topic for a podcast on its own, because that's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down. One thing that I do want to say about Miami, though, I actually went and did some research on a bunch of other content channels that have got websites and stuff, and a few of the channels actually had a poll of the 5 worst tracks in F1 currently, and where everybody would think it would be something like Monaco, Miami won 4 out of the 5 that did a poll. It's a horrible track. The drivers hate the track. The teams hate the track. The only people that like the track are the people that built it, and the hundreds of millionaires and billionaires that sit around that track to watch cars go vroom, but they have no idea what's going on. So for me, I'm not particularly excited for this race. I've got high hopes to actually have a good race, maybe some weather interference or something dramatic happening that triggers a safety car. But I personally, this, and with all due respect to after all the work they did, this in Las Vegas, we don't need 3 American Grand Prix. We don't need them. And Las Vegas, even though it produced a good race, and Miami are terrible tracks, in my opinion.
Okay, cool. So initially you answered the question by saying last year's race was cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dirk. Depending on your opinions of the Miami circuit, that's another podcast. Areas I do disagree with you, but we will talk about it. We should have a podcast about that. That podcast will be
please.
Will be on fire, basically, in terms of all the opinions we would have on that certain that circuit in itself. Christian Horner Jr., aka Graham, what do you think? Recap of last year's Miami Grand Prix 2023.
I'm not gonna lie, but as far as I can remember, I quite enjoyed Miami last year. I thought it was quite a good race. I quite enjoyed it.
You sick, bro?
I must actually go and look back at the records to what I rated that race, but I'm pretty certain that I gave that race a pretty good rating. What I will say is, street races or not, I think the American races have all been pretty good, actually. It's just the show that they put on is so cringe, but in general, the races have been pretty good. Okay, so look, obviously we had Max that won. We had Perez that was 5 seconds behind. Again, when I say pretty good, Perez didn't finish that far behind Max if you consider how far he finishes behind Max in general. and Fernando was on the podium, if I'm not mistaken. That was his first podium of the year, was it not?
No.
Fernando was so on his own that he was able to watch the screens as Stroll
Yeah,
raced.
I know, but the point is that there was a lot of things that happened in that race that, I don't know, there was some spicy moments in that race. I quite enjoyed the race. Yeah, I mean, I don't have much more to say. As far as I remember, I enjoyed the race, and in terms of the lineup, Perez was closer to Max than he had been most of the season after that race and before that race, other than the ones that he won. And on top of that, I mean, as much as it's cringe, they put on a show.
Yeah, I mean, my small piece was I enjoyed the tussle with between Verstappen and Perez when Verstappen eventually overtook him. That was quite nice. Love to see Alonso on the podium again. Of course, that time, the Aston Martin was the third best car on the grid. It was quite interesting at the time. McLaren was not doing
No, they
so
were
well
far.
at that point last year. So that's quite interesting what we're going to see this coming weekend. Ferrari, let me say, Leclerc was actually struggling to get past Haas in that race. A lot has changed, gents. So I'm really excited for this coming weekend because all the teams, Ferrari, McLaren, are looking quite good. Mercedes, funny enough, Mercedes is still at the same place they were in terms
Nah,
of
I think they worse.
performance.
I think they worse.
You think it was okay? Debatable.
Yeah, true.
Debatable. Yeah. That's the kind of key points that I saw rewatching the race as well. Look, it was okay. It is Miami. It is in America. It is very celebrity orientated because we do know that F1 are looking for other investors, so they will have races in those type of cities in America because that's where most celebrities live or most celebrities go to for
Florida.
vacation and stuff like that. But moving on,
Yeah.
yeah, and all the rich people live there as well. But moving on, thanks for your opinion, James. I mean, Graham was not giving us anything, guys. So please go watch the race, rewatch the race again, because Graham was not.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I just gave you.
except except for you saying cringe the whole time, you gave us nothing, and Dirk just rambled on. Let's just went to another place. I couldn't understand what
I
you
don't
said. I
know.
do apologize.
I think Dirk was
Well,
watching a different race
well,
last year. I don't know.
No,
I
the race was
know.
utter crap. The only action there was Leclerc attempting to pass a Haas, and eventually when Max just blew past Perez, because as soon as Max figured out, oh, I'm actually Max Verstappen, he was 2 seconds a lap faster. Whoop-de-doo. And then Perez woke up after Max passed him. Oh, wait, I could have won. Oops. That was literally the only action there was in that whole race. There was no strategy, nothing funky happening. The track is so crappily designed that it's hard to overtake.
Ooh,
I don't think you're wrong, mate. I don't think you're wrong. I just there was something about that race that I enjoyed, and it could be because maybe I could say this. It could be.
The only hype that carried that race was the fact that Alonso was back on the podium, and you can go check all the past insights from any social media. The only hype of that race was, ooh, Alonso's on the podium again. That was the only hype about that race. If you go back a year from now, everybody complained Verstappen is going to dominate again. Red Bull are overpowered. This track sucks. You can't overtake. Dirty air. It creates dirty air because of the slow speed sections. The pros, the cons.
Okay.
I hate this track.
All right, BT, did you get enough now? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Dirk, Dirk, do you need some water?
No, I'm fine. Look, even me, that's a big fan of street circuits. It's getting too much now. That's the only thing I'm going to say. It's getting too much.
I'm not a big fan of street circuits, but what I will say is that the majority of the street circuits today are actually not that bad. There's literally, Monaco is literally the only one that I don't really enjoy. Miami, as far as I remember, I quite enjoyed it, but I do understand what you're saying, that it can be quite a sort of suffocating track. But if you look at all of the rest, all of them are actually pretty decent. Vegas was good. Jeddah, which is not really a street track, but it's classed as a street track. It's not really, but okay. The point is, it's classed as one. It's generally a pretty good race as well. Then you have, I mean, technically Australia is a street track. It's a non-permanent track, however you want to call it. That's a damn good track. And like, to be honest with you, most of the street tracks nowadays are actually really good. And to be quite frank, some of them have been changed recently. They've become wider. So yeah, I don't mind the street tracks if they keep going in the direction that they're going by changing them, making them wider, making them bigger. You know, like just Monaco, for example, you can't make wider. Otherwise the Oaks need boats. You know what I mean? Because they'll be driving in the water. The point is that to me, out of all the street tracks, Monaco is the only one really that, to me, does not really fit. I'm not a Monaco fan.
I so highly disagree with you on that. But I'm not going to delve into that.
Okay. Enough. That's another debate again.
Yeah, I think we should have we should have a special called the debate special, and then we just bring out topics and we just gooi. Anyways.
No. This topic alone deserves a full podcast. I'm honest. This topic alone, because we're going to talk a lot.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no. To say. Next segment is, of course, the conditions, the weather for that weekend as well. So I checked that out. It's Miami. It's always hot. So it is going to be hot. The sun is going to be there. And my question for you guys next is, in terms of tire temperatures and which cars will get the tires warm quite quicker, the strategies for this coming weekend. What's your opinions in that? And I'll start with Dirk this time. Please don't shout at us. Just give us your opinion, because we know that you're more technical in terms of these stuff. So you can go ahead.
Okay, one thing that I will mention now that you say that, I can remember there was a few teams last year in the practice sessions that actually struggled with tires overheating because of their incredible temperatures. And I think it was not long after that they announced the race will be held a little bit later just to compensate for the teams. I think the race starts an hour later than it did last year. But point being is, I still feel they use the compounds of tires just one level too hard. They need to go one step softer to blow the strategy a bit wide open, in my opinion. You don't have to agree. But I think, honestly, Miami, I think if the weather plays a part and it's either super hot or there's rain by some miracle, I still think it's going to be a very easy one-stop. But it's just going to be, if there's, maybe slight accident or someone has a gearbox or engine failure and oil spills on the track, something like that to bring out a safety car. I don't see much happening, but I'm very intrigued to see now that besides the two Red Bulls, the midfield and even the guys closer to Red Bull in certain situations, the midfield is as if they're a bit closer to Ferrari, Mercedes, and Aston Martin and McLaren as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see what the weather is going to do within the order of the pack. So and the one thing that I do know is the hotter tracks is where McLaren and for some other reason Aston Martin shine. So I'm very curious to see how the Mercedes powered cars go this weekend.
Cool, Graham.
On my honest opinion, Mercedes are gonna suck again. They don't seem to turn their tires on at all. Like, it doesn't really matter what track they're on. Ferrari have been years beyond with tires compared to last year. I think they will actually do extremely well, and I won't. I'm not saying they're going to go out and beat the Red Bulls, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're close by. I will say Haas is probably going to look decent. They've also looked a lot better on the tires this year compared to last year. I will say that Alpines are probably going to be like at the back again because that's a given.
They're going to have support with all the truckers in America. They're going to have a fandom behind them.
Yeah, that's fair. McLaren's a tricky one. What now?
Sorry, after I said the trucker fandom, the amount that BT rolled his eyes, and I caught it on the camera. That's why I started laughing. Excuse me, audience.
McLaren. Let's move on to McLaren. McLaren's a tricky one. I thought McLaren, because McLarens have been loving the faster tracks, right? I
Yes.
thought that McLaren would struggle in China because of all the slowest like turn 1 and 2, and sort of like the last few turns as well. I honestly thought that they would struggle in China. Not struggle, but I just didn't think that they would be, because it's not the fastest track. I didn't expect them to actually be that good. So I'm really confused as to what that car is actually good at this point. But what they definitely are good at is that they don't really have problems with their tires too much, from what I can see. So I'm expecting them to do well again. You'll see in my predictions sort of where I'm going with that. But I don't want to say Ferrari's going to be like top. I'm a little bit worried about Ferrari after China, but at the same time, I do feel like they're probably one of the better cars now compared to last year when it comes to getting their tires working in heat. Like you look at Bahrain, for example, and those types of things, they did a lot better. But anyways, yeah, that's just my thoughts.
Okay, cool. To be honest with you, I have no thoughts in terms of that. I just want a good race so that Dirk can actually come back and cover his face whenever we have a race review.
And now who's giving us nothing?
My opinion about the track itself will never change. I'm sorry. They can literally get rid of the middle sector and build a new one because it's useless.
Okay, guys.
These cars look horrible at slow speed.
Okay, guys. So thanks for watching that. BT, obviously, this is BT's turn for giving us absolutely no information whatsoever. So a classic BT. I don't even know what...
Wait. Christian Warner. Wait. Hosting 101, I mean, in the rule book, the host hosts the show. He will nibble in his opinion now and then. So I'm able to do that. So, sir, please calm down. And please stop taking over my show. This is my show. Please stop taking over my show. Please.
I love BT when he gets fiery.
I feel like this guy's on a power trip of note. First of all, this is not... Okay, listen. First of all...
Listen, Linda. Listen.
Anyway, let's just move on. Let's move on.
Thank you. You used your right side of your brain finally. Thank you.
I'm just showing the people who's the real boss, because I'm saying let's move on, and now we're moving on. You see what I mean? Whose show is it really? Whose show is it really? Anyways, let's go. Come.
Hey, both you ladies, sit down. Let's go on.
Yeah, wow, Graham is so smart.
Both you ladies, says the one with the bloody long hair.
That's not my fault. I can rock it. Well done. But you two have got the mouths of the women. I've just got the hair.
Hey, I didn't say that. I said nothing now. Hey, just...
Hey, stop the banter. Anyway, it is our next exciting segment. It is betting odds for you guys. The people that love listen carefully as Graham gives you guys some betting odds for this coming weekend's race in Miami, of course. Please, there is a disclaimer on that segment, so Graham will tell you more about the disclaimer. But I will say something. The economy is rough at the moment, guys. So if you guys do win some moolah, I do go for a haircut maybe 4 times a month. The haircut does cost $60. So I would love for you guys to just donate 120 for me. That's 120 rand. That is at least 2 haircuts for me for the month. So I would appreciate that. And for Dirk to
buy a razor, perhaps.
Stop, Graham. Stop. Yeah, what Graham said. I was about to say that. What Graham said. And of course,
Both of you can just sod off.
and of course, for Graham to contribute to his our new studios, we are getting a Wendy house at some point. So, for Graham to donate a few dollars, rands to that. Anyway, Graham, take it away, boss.
Nobody said anything about a Wendy house. I, I, I,
Yes,
I said
he
new
did.
tech
Yes,
house.
he did.
There's a very big difference. First of all, no.
It's a Wendy house.
Second
Anyway,
of all,
go ahead.
all right.
Oh, you two are horrible.
Anyways, listen, let's just get into this. And the disclaimer is pretty simple, guys. We are not professionals in any way. We just really love F1, and we work in the betting industry, so we kind of just understand how it all works. Now, I've said this to you guys before. You guys know I don't bet for winning. I bet for value, because the chances are value will put you in a profit at the end of the year if you had to bet all season long. With that being said, we have Sergio Perez at 12-1, and we have Max at 1.1. Max at 1.1 is pretty much nothing. So you're gonna put $100 just to get like $18 back, basically, profit. So to me, that's not worth betting on. It's unless you want to throw it into a little accumulator with, something else like, I don't know, Man United and Chelsea. No, don't bet on any of those two teams. You'll probably lose. But the point is, if you want to throw it in a little accumulator, by all means. But I'm going for value. So for the winner, I will probably go with there's two options here. You can always go for a 12-1 with Sergio Perez, or you can go for a 20-1 Charles Leclerc, because he is due. He is due a good race. He's also due a win, and he's been looking okay. I think he's
been looking feisty.
He's starting to shake off the whole fact that Carlos is actually giving him a run now. I think he's starting to shake it off. And I think he's due. So 20-1 on Charles. Guys, 20-1. That's a big amount of odds. If he wins that, put on $100, you'll get back $2,100.
Wow.
So
quick question. What's the odds on the site?
20-1 as well. But yeah, it's probably not
Yeah, no, boys. I'm gonna bet $50.
Yeah, look, it's probably not too bad to put money on science as well. But I don't know, man. I think Charles is due, guys. Charles is due. Let's be honest. I think we need to play around a little bit, have a bit of fun, and put a little bit
But Carlos is better.
Yeah, he is better, but Charles is due. Listen, BT's gonna skull, hey? Daddy's gonna skull, so just behave yourself, please. Cool. And then I want to also just move over to the fastest lap. Now, guys, I'm gonna go quite outrageous here, and I'm gonna say that the fastest lap, I'm gonna actually go with someone like Lando Norris, who is at 14-1. Again, I'm really confused as to where McLaren actually stand, because I didn't expect them to do very well in China, but they did very well in China. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they're probably going to do pretty well in Miami too. So I'm going for fastest lap 14-1 for Lando. Yeah, that's about it. I don't think I'm going to go too far into it. I think I'm just going to give you those two tips. Lando Norris 14-1.
Yeah.
For fastest lap, and then the winner Charles Leclerc 20-1. Guys, you can by all means tell me that
Carlos Sainz.
Fine, Carlos Sainz. Okay, but
let's just say the Ferrari boys, because they've got the same
guys,
odds.
Either one of the Ferrari guys that you guys like. I think Ferrari might be closer to Red Bull than usual. I don't know why. I don't know. Just things have been unfolding, and I just think it's due for us. Maybe I'm just hopeful, guys. Maybe 12-1 on Perez is the best way you should go. But I am just hopeful, and I just feel like if you want to bet value, Ferrari's looking pretty decent. And so is McLaren. So that's all I've got to add. And please, like I said, if you lose, it's not on us. Bet at your own risk. Bet if you're only above 18, and be responsible. That's all I can add.
Cool. Thanks, Graham. Thanks, Fonza Ferrari. Anyway, it's the last segment. I know you guys are sad for our 3 or 2 viewers, maybe 4 this time, if we're lucky. Look, it is our predictions for this weekend. Quite simple. The guys are going to predict, and myself as well. We're going to predict our podium finishes. And the extra prediction is one of the lower teams or lower back teams. Which one of those teams will get points in Miami this weekend? So I'll start with Dirk this time. Dirk, your podium, please. And which lower team will get some points?
Okay.
This weekend.
Okay, I'm gonna do it a bit back to front because it's actually something that jumped to me first. I actually think this is going to be the weekend where Williams finally scores some points. I'm going to go with Williams to get into the points.
Sargent's going to score some points. Oh, okay.
I'm actually even though you guys tease me about Logie Bear, I'm not going to go with Logan. Albon has really been. I feel about Albon the way Graham just talked about Leclerc. I feel Albon is he's like waiting to get that one banger performance again, and I think Miami is going to be it. Logan has actually been impressing me this season so far. He's a lot closer to Albon, and he's a lot more consistent. Still a mistake here and there, but it's a lot better. So I'm curious to see what happens with Sargent, but I think Albon and Williams are going to maybe score a point or two this weekend. And then my top 3 from third to first, so back to front. Third place, I'm going to go with Carlos Sainz. Second place, I'm going to go with Lando Norris. And I'm going to go with the boring answer, unfortunately, but I don't see anybody beating him unless he has an Australian failure. That's Max Verstappen.
Cool. That's the most boring top 3 I've ever seen in my entire life. Anyway.
I hope you bust your toe.
That is so random. I hope you bust your toe. What?
I'm tired. Leave me alone.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So I am gonna go with my top 3, and you know what, guys? I'm gonna back my tip. I'm gonna go for a wild one, and I'm gonna go Leclerc. I'm gonna go Leclerc, and then I'm gonna go Sainz. Guys, let's be honest. If anybody other than Max is winning, it's because Max something happened, right? He's not going to finish second or third, or he's either winning or he's out the race. Now he's already had a DNF this year, or so
hopefully the first of many.
So I can't see him having another one. But just for the fun of it, let's just go with Leclerc. Then I'm going to go with Sainz, and then I'm going to go with Lando. Now, you ask, where's Perez? I don't know where Perez is. He's struggling. I don't know, man. Maybe I must change Sainz for Perez.
He took a quick holiday to Mexico. He's very close. He went to go visit his family.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
No. I can change it. It's still my turn, so I can change it if I want to. Anyways. Mate, listen. I'm the one that's typing it on the sheet in front of me. I can change it anytime I want.
You can try.
Okay, cool. Okay, it's fine. You know what? Just for the fun, I'm gonna lock it in. Okay, Leclerc, Sainz, and Lando locked in. Cool. Then
that's ball.
Yeah. Cool. And then Miami's bottom best of the bottom 5. Gents, I'm not gonna lie. Ricciardo's looking good with that new chassis. Yuki.
Sorry, what did you say about Spinato?
He didn't spin in the last race, eh? Listen.
Okay, but before China, there hasn't been a race weekend where he has not spun in either the race or a
So
practice session.
somebody,
Bro.
So he broke the curse in China. It took him five
yeah,
damn
somebody
races.
mentioned something the other day, and I thought actually it might not be a bad thing. So I was thinking, like my whole thing of was a bit harsh, saying that if Ricardo starts beating Yuki in the new chassis, then is that not artificial? Because if Yuki had the new chassis, then. But somebody made a good point the other day that a new chassis doesn't always mean more performance. It could just mean that it's more comfortability. Because if you look at Lando, for example, got Lando and Oscar got new chassis, and it didn't really. It just all it meant was that they were able to put the car in a good place because they were more comfortable. I mean, that's what they said. They can actually finally they can drive the car now. It wasn't particularly crazy performance upgrades. It was just more of the fact that they could drive the car. So I don't know. I just my hope in this is that maybe Daniel was just struggling because of his driving style. Maybe wasn't suiting the way that the car is with that chassis. That's just my hope. Obviously, I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm not trying to justify anything. That's just my hope. The point is, he is looking pretty good in that chassis. So I don't know, man. Maybe I should just go with what I was going to originally go with. I'm going to go with Haas. I think I'm going to go with Haas. Nah, leave V-Carb. I'm going to go with Haas. That's locked in.
That's locked in, eh? Cool. It's my turn. Oh, before I go, Daniel Ricciardo, you just watched Graham actually legit defend you again. Please, 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 buy that man a car, buy him dinner, pay for his vacation for him and his wife, because this guy got your back. Okay?
I would advocate. Also, and Daniel, if you're not listening or watching, he's also a big Stroll fan. Call up Danny
Daniel's
Stroll.
watching. Don't you worry. Daniel is watching. Him and I are tight like that. He's watching.
Yeah. So Daniel Ricciardo, if you ever come across this on YouTube, and just give us a watch, and just listen to Graham defending you all the time, and please spoil the man.
If Daniel Ricciardo watched this podcast, you will become his fan. Trust me.
Okay. Huh, look at me. Imagine me being a Daniel Ricciardo fan. Anyway, let's move on. So my podium, tough one. My podium is Leclerc, Alonso.
Ooh. Going for the Aston Martin is bold, BT. I don't think that car's there, but it's bold.
Hey, dude.
It's a lot.
Do it bold.
I think you need to. I think, but Dirk, I think you've got it wrong, my man. There's no. You can't say that Aston Martin is not there. This is Alonso we're talking about. It's not Aston Martin. It's Alonso.
I get that, but I can counter your point. Hamilton is a 7-time world champion.
Care less.
He hasn't been higher than what? 8th the whole season. I
couldn't care less. Why is BT? Look at BT, right? BT. Look at BT. BT is trying to. He's like asking questions like, Graham, what are you talking about? He's the one that picked Alonso. I'm defending his choice, and now BT.
Wait. After I made my podium selection, did I say, "Oh, Graham, what do you think?" No, I didn't. Keep it to yourself, please. Anyway, I was rudely interrupted. My lower team will be within the point. I'm with Graham on that one.
I don't care. Clearly, I don't care. I don't care what your lower team is, because you don't seem to.
Yeah, can you lock it?
Eh?
Yeah, just lock it, bruh. Like, why are you making life difficult? Just lock myself.
No, I don't care that you agree with me now, because now you're being a bit of a knobhead. And to be quite frank, this is a podcast. We're supposed to be talking, so I don't know what. Anyways,
I ask for your opinion. That's all. That's
but
all.
the people want to
That's
but the
all I
people
say.
want to hear.
No,
The
no,
two people watching,
no,
they want to hear. Do you know why they want to hear? Because my
no.
face is prettier than yours. That's why they want to hear.
Hey, moving on. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for the selections,
Yeah.
guys. Quite interesting. Can't wait to watch this weekend. See how the race goes. Actually, the whole weekend. Good thing is that the race will be at 10 p.m. We don't care about the other countries. We don't live in those countries, so you can Google search that nonsense on at your own time. If you're watching us from any other country, but if you live in South Africa or the continent of Africa, it will be 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. And yes, all the practices, the sprint race, the sprint qualifying will be happening in time zones of 6 p.m. to 7, 8 p.m., so on and so on. So that's quite good. That's a good weekend, to be honest with you. It's getting a bit cold in South Africa or in Africa instead. We're going into winter. So it's going to be a nice, cozy Sunday to watch Formula One on that Sunday. Before we go, uh, any last words from you, Dirk? Because we don't want to hear Graham's talk anymore. I'm just talking about it. Any words, last words for the upcoming race on your side?
Yes, I will be having a blindfold next to me for the race. Every time the cars go through sector 2, I'm going to blindfold myself quickly so that I don't have to see anything. And as soon as I hear the cars accelerating, I'm going to take off the blindfold and enjoy the rest of the lap. But besides the fact that I think this is an utter crap circuit, I am hopeful that we're going to have a good and action-packed weekend. And I'm curious to see who's going to be the closest to Red Bull, and maybe, just maybe, if someone is on their level this weekend. And hopefully, it's the prancing horse.
Can I ask
Cool.
Dirk a question?
And the other
Can,
guy?
can,
And the other guy? Oh my
Dirk,
goodness.
Yes.
there's a photo frame behind you. Is that pictures of naked people? I just want to know.
No.
Oh
Let me
no,
actually
you
show
don't have to.
you.
I just wanted to know like
No,
what
relax.
you
The
into.
people want to see. The people want to see. It is a signed Michael Schumacher framed thing.
Wow,
This picture right here is signed by the actual Michael Schumacher. I've got documentation, and that is not a fake
wow.
autograph.
It's actually cool, man.
That is really beautiful. But you got to admit though, BT, like from here where you're sitting, right? If you look in the background, it really looks a bit dodgy. I just wanted to know what you were into, like in terms of decor and whatnot. But anyways,
No. My decor in my car in my room is literally model cars, bunch of F1 stuff, and my gaming setup. That's it.
and lace curtains,
Yeah.
obviously. Anyways, so my thinking.
That was my mother, not me.
So my thinking, my last thought is
Yeah, you talk too much. That's why.
Daniel Bernardo, that's
shut
your
your
last thought.
face, both of you. My last thoughts are, first of all, guys, please hit the subscribe button because BT obviously doesn't know how to host a show and ask people to do things like that. So please hit that subscribe button. We would really, really appreciate it. And he was joking about the money. We don't need your money. We just need you to subscribe because the more of you that subscribe, that will be sorted out. First, also, can I just ask, where do you pay 60 Rand for a haircut? Because I need to go and see that guy.
Graham, can you have your last thought, please?
I mean, geez, guys, I spent 200 Rand on a haircut. But okay. Anyway.
Yeah, where do you go for a haircut?
No,
Mexico.
Fit maybe. No, I don't know. Just down the road, yeah. But okay. Anyways, Miami is going to be good. I think. Babe, this is Cape Town. You come here and you'll see how tough life is here, but it's expensive to live here, bro. Like proper. Anyway.
Yep.
Bruh, I'm the one with this hair. And I don't even pay $200. You're being
because you
robbed.
never go to a hairdresser. That's why. How do you even know what a hairdresser is supposed to cost if you never cut your hair? Guys, hang on.
I still have
just
to
hang
keep
on.
my hair in shape. So don't go there.
Just hang on, guys. Let's just get back to F1 here. Guys, the Miami race is going to be sick. And even if it's not, then at least Dirk will be sick. And that's fine. At the end of the day, somebody's going to be sick. And that's anyways okay. So I'm looking forward to the race. I'm looking forward to the race, guys. And I'm also looking forward to the rest of the season. I promise you, we had our little break now. There was some real things that we needed to deal with, but we are back and we will be here to do some race reviews. So please hit that subscribe button, give us a follow, check us out on TikTok and what other platforms are we on? Whatever, all of them.
Just
Go
media.
check us out on social media, guys. We'll bring you some good content, some good race reviews, some specials at a later point. But I'm looking forward to Miami, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season with you boys. It's I've missed you guys. No,
missed you too. We missed you, James, as well.
Okay, we're not gonna get sentimental now.
BT's a dickhead.
Guys, thank you for joining us. It's good to be back. Again, I was with my buddies. Good show. Thank you to you guys for doing this with us. It was fun. Thoughts on my side about this weekend. Looking forward to the fight between Ferrari and McLaren. I'm literally waiting for that because we know maybe perhaps Ferrari or McLaren might not catch the Red Bulls. So that top the top two or the top three or whatever, I'm looking forward to that battle. To be honest, yeah, that's all. Thank you for joining us, guys. We will be back for the race review and for the driver ratings as well, which will be hosted by Dirk. Quite excited for that. And yeah, it's been good. And the last thing I want to say, Hamilton, you have 9 months left before you go to Ferrari. Waiting for you. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers, everyone.